Hey everybody, it's Caleb. Welcome to the Pink Side. Today I'm going to talk about what it's like to talk women into domestic discipline. So we're going to talk about how I've talked women into trying domestic discipline as a lifestyle, and how I've talked women into accepting a disciplinary spanking in the first place. I've actually talked quite a few women into trying the domestic discipline lifestyle, or at least trying a disciplinary spanking, um, just over the course of my life. And believe it or not, it's not particularly hard to do. Um, and here's the killer about this, guys. And I know I'm hitting you with like the meat of this right away, maybe before you're ready for it, but what I'm about to say, you probably won't believe me, but I swear to you it's true. In my experience, it's actually easier to talk a woman into trying a domestic discipline lifestyle after you've given her a disciplinary spanking. The hard part is the pre-spanking talk. The hard part is, explaining the benefits to her and getting her to try it in the first place. But once a woman has had a disciplinary spanking and she's had a few days to mull it over, to feel all the feelings that usually come with taking a disciplinary spanking for a woman, the feeling of calmness, the feeling of kind of being on air, the feeling of feeling protected, valued, loved. A lot of times women will come back to me and say, I get it now. I didn't fully get it before, but now that I've experienced this, I understand and I see the benefits of it. I was talking to Dallas from the Dallas Spanks Hard website one day. This is like, I don't know, a long time ago, or maybe not that long ago, but a little while ago. And he said that pretty much he's been able to talk 80% of the women that he's interacted with into living a domestic discipline lifestyle under him. And that doesn't just include his girlfriends, that includes his female friends. And he'll always tell you that the key to it is just to be matter of fact about it, to not be embarrassed about it, just to own who you are about it and all that sort of stuff. And that's all true. But I think there's more to it on that. Women subconsciously seek out leadership, especially from men. They subconsciously seek out discipline from men. So when you present a woman who's never heard of the lifestyle before with the idea of a disciplinary spanking, usually her reaction is going to be resistant and even visceral at first. But as you start explaining to her what's behind it and the psychology behind it and how it's benefited other women in other areas of their lives, they start to let their guard down a little bit. You can get probably a good 70% of the women in the world, if not more so, to try a disciplinary spanking, to try receiving a disciplinary spanking. Now, if you have like a female friend or a female that you know that she doesn't really like you, she doesn't really trust you, well, that's probably going to backfire on you, right? It has to be somebody that trusts you enough to be open to this kind of conversation. But when you get past that initial stage of resistance and, oh my God, I would never do that, I would never let a guy do that to me, and you get into the conversation and you start telling her what it's really all about, a lot of times the woman softens up, you know, and then once you've actually spanked her, it's like it hooks her, you know, and you would think it would be the opposite of that because spankings are painful, you know. And a lot of times in these situations, when you spank her, when you get a woman to the point of you've talked her into a spanking, you're going to discipline her for something she's done in her life. Initially, when you're done spanking her, she feels negative feelings like sadness, guilt, anger towards you for spanking her in the first place, anger towards you for talking her into a spanking. But once she calms down and she releases all that sort of pent up energy, and especially after a couple of days go by and she starts becoming aware that she feels a lot more grounded, a lot more secure, a lot more just protected after having received a disciplinary spanking from a man. You can talk a lot of women into the lifestyle after that. You know, it's hard to talk a woman into the lifestyle if you don't spank her, if you don't get her to the point where she'll accept a spanking from you. Sorry, guys, don't know what's wrong with my voice, but it's harder to talk a woman into the lifestyle if your conversation doesn't end with an agreement to be spanked, right? That it becomes harder. Well, once a woman has been spanked, she's a lot more open to the lifestyle than she was before. So to reiterate what I said, talking to women that you trust, women that trust you, talking a woman into a disciplinary spanking isn't particularly hard. And talking a woman into living a domestic discipline lifestyle, once she has been spanked, I mean, it's almost too easy. You know what I'm saying? Because then not only do they know the benefits of the domestic discipline lifestyle from an intellectual standpoint, but they felt the benefits of it from an emotional and psychological standpoint. So I guess that's what I wanted my video to be about today. Just talking women into spankings. Now there's talking women into domestic discipline. Now I know a lot of you are probably looking for like the 5 steps to talk women into a domestic discipline relationship. There's no such thing because every woman is different. So there's no process that you can follow. Like if you're a car salesman, you can follow these 5 steps to make the sale. It doesn't work like that with women because there's just too many variables within it. But once you get a woman into a conversation about a disciplinary spanking, it's moderately difficult to get her to accept one, but not impossible. But once a woman's had a spanking, you can talk her into the domestic discipline lifestyle. See what I'm saying? And the spanking seems to be the hook. All right, guys, that's my video for today. More to come soon.